So today's video is about snow. You know, that stuff that you know all about. The white stuff that falls in December when it gets freezing out. Except that nothing of what I just said is the truth. That's right, in this video, I'm going to take the 7 most commonly believed myths that you likely still believe about snow and tell you the truth behind them. Today we're going to discover just how much of what you know about those frosty flakes is truth, and how much is Jack Frost trickery. You might want to bundle up warm for this one, because this is 7 myths you still believe about snow. Snow is white. What? It's not? If you ask a random group of people what color snow is, the majority of them will likely say white. Unless they're scientists or have seen this video, of course. That's right, snowflakes are actually clear, like the water that they're made out of. These tiny pieces of ice are translucent, meaning that they're not completely see-through like glass, but instead allow light to pass through them indirectly. See, the light reflects off of the sides of ice crystals, scattering it into all of its colors. And even though this light is likely from the sun, and thus yellow in hue, the human brain works in such a way that it actually ignores this yellow tint, which makes us perceive snow as a solid white color. Ooh, that one just threw you for a loop, but there's more. It can be too cold for snow. A lot of people think that there's a temperature so low that any precipitation, even snow and hail, is impossible. This myth came into being due to the fact that incredibly cold weather is often accompanied by exceptionally dry air, which means less moisture for any precipitation to form. However, the truth is that snow can be created and fall at any freezing temperature, provided that there is enough moisture available and a way to lift or cool that moisture into flakes. Blizzards are caused by a lot of snow. If you live in an area that experiences sub-zero winters, Toronto, you'll likely have heard someone exaggerate that a large amount of snow collecting on the ground constitutes a blizzard. But no. This is simply a stretch of the truth that has led to a myth being formed that claims that you need a lot of snow to be classified as a blizzard. Ah, but we know better, don't we? According to the US National Weather Service, it's not the amount of snow, but the strength of the wind that defines such an event. The truth is, in order for a snowstorm to be upgraded to blizzard status, the gusts must surpass 56 kilometers an hour, reduce visibility to 400 meters or less, and last for a prolonged period of time, which is usually 3 hours or more. Mountainous areas always get snow before lower ones. This one kind of makes logical sense, but it's just a myth. There's a belief out there that because some regions are much higher from sea level than others, when winter arrives, they will see snowfall first. Now, while it's true that high-rising mountains see more snowfall due to the atmosphere at their peaks, it's not always true that they see the effects of winter first. According to the National Weather Services of multiple countries, it is just as likely that winter will make itself known to low-lying plains and even the oceans themselves before the higher areas see even a single flake. For example, let's look at our friends in Scotland. Scotland sees the most snow each year in the United Kingdom, but often it's England's southern tip that gets the most snow. Southern tip. Sorry, I'm like a 5-year-old. You don't need to scrape snow off of your car's roof. We all know someone like this, you know, the type you just kind of want to give a little tap, tap, tap in the face. Now, some of you might be confused as to why this one made this list. Well, the reason for it is because a large number of people believe that you can leave snow on the roof of your car, but believe it or not, you can't. In fact, it's actually illegal in most places. Too many people pull out of their driveways after only brushing the snow off of their windshield and windows, leaving a nice pile of snow on the roof of their vehicle. But Matt, what can that cause? I'll tell you. What happens is that snow is eventually going to come off on its own. Usually when your car hits a higher speed on the highway, and is either going to cover your rear window or the windshield of the person directly behind you. That sounds safe, doesn't it? And for those places where it's not illegal, as soon as that snow hits your back window and blocks your view, you're breaking the law anyway. So this winter, please brush the roof of your car. This message brought to you by the Matthew Santoro Wants You to Not Be a Dick group. Snow only falls when the air temperature is below freezing. Have you ever been outside when it's snowing and think, it's too warm for this to be happening? Well, yeah, but it's not magic. Let me explain. More often than not, when snow's coming down, the air temperature in that area is below 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But even though a snowflake is indeed frozen moisture, that doesn't mean that the outside air temperature needs to be below the freezing point. Persistent Consistent rain that's falling through air that's as warm as 6 degrees Celsius will gradually decrease the air's temperature, which in turn decreases the rain's temperature until it becomes snow. Science! So in other words, you're still outside feeling that 6-degree temperature, but the snow was still made at 0 degrees or less. December sees more snowfall than any other month. If you're anything like me, you like to see lots of snow around December, specifically Christmas time, and then none at all. But unfortunately, since that's not the case and I haven't quite yet developed my wizard powers to control the weather, we at least can rely on the holiday months seeing the most snow, right? Sadly, wrong. On average, January and February both see the most snow. In my hometown of Toronto, December brings us 24 centimeters, while January brings 37 and February 27. It's so lovely to drive in the snow. Oh, nothing better. In 2014, Weather Services monitoring Central Park in New York reported that while only 2.54 centimeters fell in December, January saw 43 centimeters, and February saw 34.5, and March, this is gonna make you sad, brought down an incredible 47.2 centimeters. But hey, I love living in Canada. It's okay if there's chilly temperatures. We have Justin Bieber, damn it. Speaking of chilly temperatures, warm up your finger by pressing the subscribe button so you can subscribe to my channel and catch my next video. I upload every Tuesday and Saturday. And don't forget to add me to Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram because I'll be dropping all kinds of fire emojis on your timeline, try to warm you up digitally. Which doesn't really help when it's like 0 degrees out. But I'll do my best. I'll see you guys later. Peace.